Hello, this is a short video showing how to send content for translation from Drupal into Phrase TMS. We first need to have installed a plugin called Translation Management Tool, or TMGMT, into Drupal, which can be freely downloaded from Drupal's own website. Then after that, we would install the Phrase TMS plugin. The way it works is that the TMGMT plugin grabs your content, wraps it into an XLIF file, and then sends it over to Phrase TMS for translation. Whichever text elements are supported by TMGMT can be translated through Phrase TMS. So let's go to an article that I want to translate. I've started to create an article here, so let's finish it by providing it with a title. And I'll also add an image. And then I'll click Save. Here we see a preview of the article. So now let's suppose that I want to translate it into 3 languages. In this case, French, German, and Spanish. I'm going to click on the Translate tab here on the top of the article. And in this new screen, I'm going to select the languages that I want to translate this to. If I want to send multiple articles for translation at once, I can click on Add to Cart, which will then bundle this article and then other articles together so that I can send them all at once. For now though, I only want to translate this one. So after selecting the languages, I will click on Request Translation. Here at this job overview page is where I will define the specific settings that will govern the creation of this translation. So I'm going to provide a label here that will be used as the name of the project in Phrase TMS. I'm also going to pick the translation provider, which in this case refers to a particular TMS instance. I'm going to pick my own. And this is something that I have already defined in Drupal. Once I pick myself as the provider, Drupal is going to scan my Phrase TMS for project templates that match the language combinations that I have picked here. And I can pick a due date if I want. And here I'm going to check both of the following options: group all translation jobs in a single Phrase TMS project, and submit all 3 translation jobs with the same settings. What this will do is put them all in one project so that all jobs are processed together with the same settings instead of creating 3 separate projects for each language. Now I'll submit it and continue. After a little bit, here we see a success notification letting us know that the jobs have been submitted to Phrase TMS. So now let's go there. If I refresh my page here, I will see a brand new project for translation. And here is the project page. I set up my project template so that the first step is a machine translation step, which has already been run, and the second will be a linguistic quality assessment step. You'll see that there are already translators assigned to it, and this, as well as the naming convention of the project, the workflow steps, translation memories, and other settings, are all things that can be defined via project templates. So if you know you'll be carrying out similar projects in the future, you can ensure that they will all go to your preferred teams of translators, and everything will be carried out automatically. I'm going to open up this translation for the Spanish. This is the editor view, and this is where the translators will be spending most of their time. Here at the bottom, they can see a preview of how the source looks. And if they want to, they can also switch it to the target to have an idea of how their translation will look in Drupal. I'm using machine translation here, courtesy of Phrase Translate, but I'm going to pretend that this translation has already been post-edited and ready to be sent back to Drupal. I'm going to mark these jobs as completed. So from the original page where we had submitted it for translation, let's click on the translation button here at the top. And then we click on jobs. So here we see 3 options, one for each of the languages. So since I know the Spanish one is completed, all of them, but I'm going to start with the Spanish, I'm going to click on Manage. And then in this next page, I will click on Pull Translations. And now we see that the progress bar has changed. And if we click on Manage again, we get the option to review, which is what I will do now. Here I can validate that the translations all look correct. And if so, I will click on Save as Completed. I can optionally mark it as published. This review step is entirely optional, and you can set it up so that once you pull in your translations, they will be automatically approved. So now if I click on the Translation tab up top, and then on Sources, I now see a green check mark next to the Spanish, indicating that it is now up to date and published. And if I click on it, I will see my translation here.